Everybody, prepare to be sick of me. I've got 10-minute videos now. I'm not planning on taking up 10 minutes entirely, but I am someone who can like gab for quite a while. So it might happen, but that's okay. You are more than welcome to fast forward or like try and get through the video faster if you watch the whole video. Um, but that was like my whole little preface or whatever. Precursor. I don't know what word I'm trying to think of, but it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that I got a plant to talk to you about today. Now, I don't have a lot of Syngoniums. I would say I have maybe 4 or 5. Most of them I have trailing. I did have a mojito that I had climbing, and she got gigantic. But there's one Syngonium that I have that I was put on by another friend. She had one, and it was huge, and it looked really, really cool, but it did look like a Syngonium. I thought it was some form of Monstera, but it's not. So I'm a fan of plants that like, you look at it and you're like, is that really a da-da-da? And then, you know, it's like, yeah, it is. So I've got actually a couple that I'm going to show you. Sorry. My cats are shedding and I just moisturize my hands with shea butter and it's like everywhere. But we're going to get through this. Okay, let me grab the plants. Plant that I have is the, this thing keeps falling off this little moss pole. It's not bad. It's a decent little moss pole, but it's not really doing much for support. It just has the wick system in there, so it does help keep the moss pole relatively moist. I would say that the idea was magnificent. The execution wasn't that great. It doesn't work that well. But check this out. So I tried 2 growth methods. I let one of the vines go ahead and trail, and it got gigantic. Big, beautiful lobed leaves, and y'all know I will talk about it time and time again. I love a lobed leaf. As they mature, they become a little bit more prominent, but quite honestly, before they reach maturity, they kind of just give a little meaner, right? This I could believe was a Syngonium, but when I saw it at this size and what this looked like, I was like, no, it's not. It is. We live and we learn, huh? Now, I treat these like I treat my alocasias and phyllos. I give them a super chunky soil, relatively moisture retaining, but doesn't stay super wet for too long. It's very similar care. I would say the biggest difference that I've noticed is sometimes I'll have to water more frequently, but really that's not the case now that I've upsized it. It was sitting in a 5-inch pot and she wasn't feeling it. She grew out of that. And the roots are so thick. I've never seen Syngonium roots that were so thick. So I'm very impressed. This is one of my faves. Out of all the Syngoniums I have, I've got a couple other ones, like I said, that are trailing. And they do relatively good. I keep them under a grow light for 14 hours a day. Give them fertilizer with every watering. Typical fertilizer mix. I like Foliage Pro. I feel like every time I hear someone talking about it, they're like, I'm not a, it's just basic. I don't know about y'all, but my plants love the Foliage Pro. So I roll with that, put my silica gold in there, and she stays fed, and she's done great. So that's not the only one that I have. I'm a big fan of plants that you wouldn't be able to guess they were of their genus. This one, be kind, okay? She didn't ship well. She just got here yesterday, but this is my Alocasia bronchiophila. I have to look it up. Branchifolia, okay? Lobed leaves, period. It's giving Alocasia Jacqueline, but at maturity. You know how they get like really deep lobes as they get older? But this one doesn't have the same texture. It's got a really cool pattern to the leaves, and they'll continue to just like size up and have this. This is a jewel alocasia technically. However, like my business silver, like jewel alocasia doesn't always mean that they stay super compact. They don't get as tall as the giant ones, but they do size up. The leaves get big. And so I'm excited for it. Hopefully she perks up with some time. I gave her some water and went ahead and fed her after I let her adjust for a little bit. She's doing her little drippy thing. So we will see. Alocasias are, once you know what to do with them, right? And once you are a lot more frequent, I painted this pot. It was very fun. It was cute. once you get the hang of a good feeding schedule, um, ideal lighting, really the rest of it does the work itself. However, you gonna get spider mites every single time. Every single time. Your allocations will get spider mites. It is these and all of my crawling philodendrons. When I tell you it's like clockwork, I'm having to clean these leaves off regularly. Dust your leaves. If you do not dust your leaves, you'll get the mites and they'll be on it. They'll chew that leaf right on up. I'm pretty sure this is mite damage. I cleaned it off, I treated it, but when they start to get kind of yellowy, and then if you look under, there could be like a little bit of webbing under there. Yeah. So, there it is. Make sure you dust those leaves. I clean these off. But just now, as I'm checking in this video, I'm making sure that it's not covered, doesn't have any more spider mites, because now it's in general population. So, either way, that's what I have today. Thank you for listening to me yap for 6 minutes. I'm super excited. I don't know how I finally qualified for 10-minute videos, but hey, now I can run my mouth even longer. So, anyway, keep growing, loves.